Vintage HQ, we're always looking for those unusual items. And today we were at the St Andrews Market in Victoria, Australia. And we went to a stall, and a gentleman had cleaned out his mother's house and was offloading a suitcase, which he said included a whole lot of travel documents. We purchased it for $50. He was willing to accept that and readily accepted it. We haven't really been through it, and today is the unveiling of what is in this suitcase. So we've got a vintage suitcase. It's a red case, and it's got leather strapping, and yeah, it's just a typical one you would have seen in the 1950s or thereabouts. Okay, so let's open this little bad boy up. The locks don't work. So we've got, as I sort of said, we've got an Airlight travel good suitcase. And what have we got there? Red case, something shoes, folding coat hangers, all shoe cleaners, shoe trees, velvet soap, Lux velvet soap, clothes, pins and pegs or something. Pins and pegs or something like that, I'm not sure. So this is obviously where they put their odds and sods when they were travelling. Okay, so what have we got in here? First up, we've got, what's this? Conquest series from 60 to 62 Elizabeth Street, Melbourne. It looks like it's a, what have we got? Okay, yep, it looks like it's a ledger. A good old-fashioned ledger, pretty much unused. So that's interesting. And you could, obviously, it's got all the metal bolts and similar. Okay. Let's have a look at here. What have we got here? Looks like a opera flyer from the Neanderthal Opera in Amsterdam, and with the time. I'm anticipating probably the 1950s or thereabouts, an original September 1950s. Okay, what have we got here? We've got the Shakespeare Memorial Theatre, Stratford-upon-Avon. And so the guy who sold us this was right. It is sort of a travel case where the person's probably put their mementos from all their travels. So this is the winter season, 1954 to 55 at Shakespeare. And we've got the list of the people who were in it, and it's The Dark is Light Enough in 1954-55 season. Again, we've got the BBC presents Henry Wood Promenade Concerts, August 1954, the Diamond Jubilee season. The program cost 6p. So this is a nice little piece of history at Royal Albert Hall in London. All right, so this is something probably, I'd say, a little bit more local. Williamstown Little Theatre. 1985. So we've got a bit of a mix here. See how they run. What we'll do is we'll have a look at the cast and see if they've actually progressed from and become famous or similar to work out what that all is. Oh, another one. This sort of looks like, yep, from the 80s. Bells Are Ringing, presented by the Heritage Musical Theatre at Monash University. Again, this is very symbolic of the 1980s, and we'll go through who was in there and whether there's anything of interest. There'll be people who would be interested in that. Okay, the Oronce. So the Oronce, if I remember rightly, was launched in about 1951 or thereabouts.
Correct.
And is part of the Orient Line. What have we got here? Yep, the Orient Line. So this is Australia to England, 3rd of July to 3rd of August 1954. So we've got some really, I guess, classic brochures from or itineraries or similar from the Oronce in 1954. We've got one that's the same too, slightly different cover. This is Australia to England, July 1954, same one. Again, the same dates but different. So we'll go through each of these, but we're talking how many years now? 70 years.
Yep.
So 70 years, and obviously the person who had this suitcase went on the cruise from Australia to England in 1954. So some lovely stuff here. And just looking at this, cabin telephones, the Oronce, please use the telephone for all your service requirements. So that's quite, that's quite special and a sign of the times. No charges is made for calls within the ship, which is nice to see. So that's from the Oronce. All right. Carte de jour, the Trocadero Grill Room in Piccadilly. So our menu. So we've got a menu. I would hazard a guess this is probably from the same sort of 1950s. Looking at the menu, what could we have got? Anything take your fancy there, Ash?
A lobster cocktail.
A lobster cocktail. And how much is a lobster cocktail these days?
£4.06. Am I reading that correct?
Or is it 4 shillings?
4 shillings and
sixpence. I'd say it's probably
4 shillings and sixpence, I would suggest.
Yes, but please let us know if we're wrong.
Big menu.
Big menu. And what have we got here now? The Viking Ship Finds guide published by the director of the museums.
Oh.
What's this? The Viking Ship Finds. Oslo, 1953. So a lovely guidebook.
Oh, this will be the Viking ships they found really preserved, yeah? The really good preservation
I think you'd be right. And obviously there's some lovely pictures. So we'll have to do some more research and work out what that is. Okay. We've got a newspaper clipping. Britain building another underground line. I don't know the date on this, and we'll be able to work it out. But I'd say it's probably in the 50s as well. Working Party set up in 1948, decided to. So I'd say it'd be 1950s, talking about the new underground line. So we'll do some background and history on that. All right. So as we've only gone through a little bit.
There's a lot in here.
There's a lot in here. So what we'll do is we'll come back to you and we'll continue shortly. Thanks.